Today I'm making bacon cheddar biscuits. They are the absolute best biscuits you will ever have. I have to admit, I'm kind of a biscuit snob. I love biscuits so much. No matter where I go for brunch, I always ask for a biscuit instead of toast. So I wanted to make the best biscuit I could possibly make in my own kitchen. And here they are today. So we're going to start off with some flour here. Some flour in a bowl. And then I'm gonna add our other dry ingredients, which is some baking powder. Just pop that right in there. And some baking soda. And this will help the biscuits rise. Much needed. And then I'm gonna take a pastry cutter. You can also take a fork. And you're just gonna go ahead and mix together the dry ingredients just so they're all combined. Perfect. And then I'm going to add our butter. It's very important to have a lot of butter in biscuits. I have here about a stick of butter. I'm gonna cut it in half. It's cold butter. You're gonna want cold butter for biscuits. And then you're just going to chop up the pieces so they're in nice chunks. It'll be easier to mix the butter in that way. And you're just gonna pop the butter in there. And then you're gonna take your pastry cutter or your fork and you're just gonna cut the butter into the dry ingredients. You gotta get your muscles in there because it's cold butter, so it's a little tough. And you're just gonna do this until the mixture resembles a coarse crumble. So we have a coarse crumble here. It's the perfect consistency. Everything's mixed together. And now we're going to add our stars of the show. We have our extra sharp cheddar cheese. If you don't like super sharp, you can obviously use a little bit milder of a cheese. And then I have here some cooked bacon that I just diced up, just stuck in a pan and cooked it. Nothing special. And then I have some chives. This is optional, but it's just a nice pop of green in there. Add those right in. Perfect. And you can just use the same pastry cutter and just kind of mix the ingredients right into the flour and the butter. We're all mixed. It's amazing how good it smells in here already from the bacon. So it's about to get really messy. I'm gonna take my ring off even, put my hair behind my ears and roll up my sleeves. And we're gonna add in our buttermilk. You can actually make your own buttermilk at home by taking about a cup of half and half or even just regular milk and adding about 2 tablespoons of regular vinegar. And you're gonna get something similar to a buttermilk if you don't have it on hand. You're gonna add in just enough to basically just get all of the ingredients into a ball. You're gonna start to form a dough here. So usually I start with my pastry cutter just so it's not super messy. And then I'm gonna go in with my hands once things start to form a dough ball. All right, so now it's hands time. Gotta get in there. Again, you don't want your dough so wet that it's almost like sticking to your hands. You wanna just start to form a dough ball. And if it looks a little dry, once you start gently kneading things, then you can add more buttermilk. But always start with a little bit less than you think so you don't get too much of a sticky dough. Okay, so the dough is starting to come together, but it actually needs a little bit more buttermilk. It's not quite forming a dough, so I'm gonna take my gross hands and just add in a splash more of that buttermilk. And then again, just keep kneading in the buttermilk until all the ingredients come together into a nice ball. Our dough ball has formed. Look at this. See how most every little piece of biscuit is on our big ball of dough. And now it's time to form our biscuits. So So we're going to take a 1/4 cup measure, and you're just gonna pinch off a piece of dough, stick it right in the 1/4 measure, even it out, and then dig it right out with your hands. Kind of re-roll it into a ball. You're gonna place it on a cookie sheet. I have a non-stick cookie sheet, but if you don't, then definitely make sure you grease it. And you're just gonna go ahead and do this until all your dough is gone. It's about 10 biscuits in total. And make sure they're about as even as possible. So all of our biscuits are ready for the oven. We're gonna stick them in the oven at 425 for about 12 to 14 minutes until they're nice and golden brown, warm and toasty. I can't wait. Our biscuits are fresh out of the oven. I honestly can't tell you how excited I am to try one of these. The whole house smells absolutely ridiculously good. I can't wait to dig into these. But before I do, I have a little extra surprise in store, and it's maple butter. What I love about maple butter with these biscuits is it just adds a little touch of sweetness, a little saltiness, and to just melt it over some warm biscuits, there's almost nothing better. It's just a simple flavored butter here. All I did was take some softened butter and I mixed it with about a tablespoon or so of maple syrup. And I'm also going to add in, this is very naughty, just a little bit of the bacon drippings from the bacon that we cooked for the biscuits. And we're just gonna go ahead and add that right in. It's just like a little touch of that smokiness and that saltiness from our bacon. And we're just gonna go ahead and mix that right in. Oh man, this is getting good. All right, it's time to try our biscuits. I'm gonna add a little bit of that maple butter on there. Which one do I choose? It's so hard. I don't know. This one's calling to me. All right, let's break it open. Let's see what's happening. Oh man, look at that biscuit. Did you see the cheese kind of string? How unreal is that? Okay, I'm gonna break this. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that maple butter right on it. Ooh. It is time. Oh man. Who's jealous? Oh my God. That is so good. It's salty, tender, a little smoky. You even get a hint of the chives in there, but it's not too overpowering. It is the single best biscuit I've ever had. Trust me, from a biscuit lover like me. Check this recipe out on tastefullygrace.com. You will not regret it.